Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us on our webinar today. I'm Tony and I'm Wired's digital marketing trainer. We'll start off this session with a little bit more information about Wired Marketing in case you haven't dealt with us before. We're a full service email marketing agency specialising in email marketing. Our clients range from small businesses to large PLCs and everything in between. We offer managed services through an agency style setup for clients who want to outsource their email marketing strategies, as well as offering support and training to clients who would prefer to create email templates and campaigns before sending them themselves. Whether you're looking for a bespoke template, do-it-yourself email sends, or full campaign strategy and implementation, we can support you to success. Now, my own experience spans over 20 years, during which time I've been involved with digital marketing projects ranging from small, highly targeted postcode-specific campaigns to full national and multinational integrated marketing strategies. I've worked across a number of B2B and B2C sectors and love sharing what I've learned through that time. So that's what you need to know about us. We'll now move on to the webinar. We always have a broad spectrum of attendees at our webinars, and the main aim is to give you more information on how to develop your email marketing by including personalisation. The webinar should run for about 20 minutes, and you can contact me directly after the webinar finishes if you have any questions or if you want to have more of an in-depth conversation. So these are going to be the areas that we cover today: data, persona-based targeting, lifecycle marketing, behavioural targeting, segmentation, and dynamic content. So first of all, the question: who doesn't like the personal touch? We've all experienced it from time to time, that nice fuzzy feeling when someone that you don't expect to remembers your name, or when you go for your morning coffee and the person at the counter asks if you want your usual and already has your name written on the cup. Great email marketing delivers this type of personal service too. By treating your contacts as the unique individuals that they are and letting them know that they matter, you can go a long way in building lasting relationships. It's not only the relationship that's improved by introducing personalisation though. According to the Aberdeen Group, personalised email messages improve click-through rates by an average of 14% and conversions by 10%. The hyper-informed consumers of today no longer accept broadcasted sales pitches. Your business's value proposition now needs to be delivered at the right time, in the right format, and also needs to be 100% contextual. During this webinar, we'll explain the techniques and approaches that can be used to deliver highly personalised and relevant email marketing campaigns to your prospects and customers, which will drive higher engagement and ultimately increase your return on investment. As you'll soon find out, personalisation is about a lot more than just including a person's name in the subject title and body content of an email. So before we go into more detailed parts of personalisation, we need to address data. You can only personalise your email marketing campaigns by knowing your prospects and customers intimately. Although a name and email address is a good start, to offer a truly personalised email marketing strategy, you need to be collecting additional information such as the behaviours, so email opens, clicked links, and the preferences, so their interests and opinions. Behaviours and preferences can be identified by using data from your email service provider's reporting suite, alongside data and insights gained from your reporting platforms such as Google Analytics. To make the most of the data that you'll be collecting, you'll need to consider system integrations. At the very least, your CRM and email service provider need to be integrated. Integrating these two systems enables you to collate all of the data on each contact into your CRM. This enriched data can then be analysed and used to optimise the personalisation in future campaigns. So persona-based targeting. For you to be able to personalise your email marketing communications, you first of all need to get to know your prospects and customers in more detail. If you don't know who you're targeting, you're relying on luck to deliver the results from your email marketing campaigns. The easiest and best way to identify and record your target audience is to use the data that you hold about your customers and prospects already to create buyer personas. So what exactly is a buyer persona? Well, it's a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer based on market research and real data. Here's an example of a buyer persona. For you to be able to deliver a truly personalised experience to your contacts, you need to start thinking about the many different ways that you can personalise your marketing communications. Many email marketers, when asked about personalisation, only refer to using a contact's name though. If you step back and think about it for a moment, your prospects and customers are all at different stages in their journey. So a one-size-fits-all approach to your email marketing isn't going to be as effective as it could be, and return on investment will also suffer. Using buyer personas enables you to deliver a stronger message that is targeted to specific sections of your contact list. As you can see on the graph, if you can move away from a shotgun email approach on the left-hand side to a more targeted and relevant approach, you can expect average conversions to increase. Relevancy increases as we start to use all of the information that we've collected about our contacts to define our marketing approaches. Buyer personas use all of the demographic, psychographic, geographic and behavioural information that we've collected. Using insights from analysing all of this information, we can then tailor our marketing communications to each individual on a personal basis. So a few tips on creating buyer personas. The more detailed you are, the better. Buyer personas provide tremendous structure and insight for your company. Use real data on your customers where possible rather than guesswork. Some ways that you can do this are interviewing a selection of your customer base, sending out surveys to customers, and analysing the data in your CRM. You should start with between 3 and 5 personas, but over time this may need to increase to ensure that all of your target audience are included. Your personas also need to be updated periodically as your business grows and customer base changes. It's not a case of defining them once and then storing them away somewhere. They're a working document. It should be referred to whenever you're creating strategies or content. They should also be shared with other teams, especially sales, to ensure a consistent approach from all departments. So the information that should be used to create a complete buyer persona are, first of all, the background, so basic details about them and the role, information about the company if it's applicable, and any other relevant information such as hobbies, preferences or education. We can then look at the demographics, so the gender, the age, their income or disposable income, and geographic location. And then identifiers, so any behaviours and mannerisms that set them apart, or any buzzwords that set them apart. We can then consider the goals and challenges, so any primary and secondary goals that they have, and any primary and secondary challenges to their success. Using that information, we can then look at how we can help them. So how can we help them achieve the goals? How can we help them solve their challenges? And use real quotes in your buyer personas. These can be taken from each persona during the research stages, so interviews or surveys. Now we look at the common objections. So what are this persona's most common buying objections? When we know that, we can then tailor the marketing message to make sure that we describe the solution to the problem in the right way. And finally, we can look at our elevator pitch. So highlight the elevator pitch which will be used for this persona across the whole of the company. Now that we've created our buyer personas, we can look at when and how they're coming into contact with us. And we can achieve this by considering lifecycle marketing. Now, lifecycle marketing refers to marketing and sales campaigns that address your customers' needs and requirements as they evolve over time. This allows you to be attentive, responsive, relevant, leading and guiding your customer rather than following them. Lifecycle marketing helps you to gain further insight into what your prospects are thinking and how they're behaving at certain points in their journey through your marketing strategy funnel. By mapping each of our personas touch points using customer journey mapping, you can see how each of them travels through your marketing funnel. Here's an example of some touch points and how they apply to each stage of the funnel. Having these insights will enable you to identify very specific points where you can deliver personalised and highly relevant content and communications to your contacts. This approach delivers the type of service that we mentioned in our scenario earlier, where the coffee shop employee remembered who you are and why you're there. Using personas and customer journey maps in collaboration is really powerful and personal, giving you the ability to perfectly time your email campaigns. This will increase the engagement and interaction with your emails and ultimately increase your return on investment. According to Money8, marketers see an average increase of 20% in sales when using personalised web experiences. So each persona that you've created is likely to have a different customer journey to the others. This is important to remember, especially when plotting each path. Use real data and not guesswork again here. The temptation is to assume that each persona goes through the same touch points and experiences when considering whether to purchase your product or not. This is very seldom the case, and the extra insight that you can gain from seeing the journey from each persona's point of view can be highly beneficial when creating your email marketing strategies. When you record your customer journey paths, also try to think how they might feel emotionally at each stage and at each touch point. This can help you to understand what they need to get out of that specific experience to then move on to the next part of the buying journey. Knowing the full journey that each persona goes through enables you to start leading your prospects rather than just following them around. Awareness of what they're feeling and what they need at each stage and touch point gives you the opportunity to start to create strategies and to deliver content that's specific to every moment that a contact is either making a decision or asking a question. We're now approaching our contacts in a much more personalised way based on who they are and how they're coming into contact with us. But we can get even more specific by considering behaviours. So through monitoring the movements of your customers, you'll be able to predict the thoughts and interests through behavioural patterns and trends. This will allow you to provide content at the correct moments. Through perfectly timed, persuasive content, you'll be able to lead your audience rather than following them. So look at the behavioural habits, for example, the types of content they enjoy reading, times that the emails are opened, subject title formats that have better open rates, and call to actions that get the most engagement, and finally, the success of previous campaigns that you've sent. What works for one individual may not work for the others, therefore it's important to analyse your data to understand each recipient personally. Behavioural triggers in email marketing are very effective as they allow you to create a one-to-one experience for the recipient, while providing an organic, free-flowing conversation. It's both time and cost effective for the sender and personally engaging for the recipient. After all, we all prefer talking to a human rather than a computer and feeling as though our desires are actually being heard. Through collecting the recipient's name and email address and then considering your buyer personas and customer journeys, you already have enough data to send a multitude of personalised email campaigns. From the data you've collected, you're able to send campaigns at a convenient time for the reader to target specific personas and promote sales campaigns based on where the contact is in your marketing funnel. The data provided will also allow you to trace the movement of your prospects, allowing you to analyse any recurring patterns found, actions and activity, to develop more intimate campaigns and marketing strategies which can then be automated as a response to their movements. Some behavioural triggers that you can consider for your email marketing could include wish lists, recommended products or services, abandoned browser and abandoned cart, and discounts. We've now created personas so that we know who we're targeting with our email marketing campaigns. We've plotted their individual customer journeys and the touch points where they come into contact with us. We're even now considering the behaviours of our prospects and customers too. We've come a long way from just personalising email campaigns with a first name, but we can take personalisation further. There are still two strategies that we can use to deliver even more personalisation to our email marketing campaigns: segmentation and dynamic content. So first of all, segmentation. A lot of marketers aren't aware of how segmentation works and why it's so necessary. Segmentation can drastically improve your engagement levels and can even help push contacts through the conversion funnel towards a sale. And according to Marketing Sherpa, 32% of marketers say segmenting the database is one of their organisation's top objectives in the next 12 months. Furthermore, 52% of marketers say they have a great need to improve the database segmentation. Email marketing segmentation is the art of splitting your list into different groups. These groups or segments consist of contacts and people with similar characteristics. Emails and content can then be sent to them based on these characteristics. The segments can fine-tune your approaches to each subset of your personas. After all, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to email marketing. There are an overwhelming amount of ways that you can segment your data, but they can actually be split into 4 groups, which we mentioned when creating buyer personas. So demographics, such as your gender, age, customer or prospect. Psychographics, such as interests or preferences, activities and opinions. Geographic, such as region, postcode or country. And behaviours, such as the device they use, the number of email opens and click-throughs. Data can be combined or layered to achieve the level of targeting required. More advanced examples of email segmentation campaigns make use of combined or derived data to go a step further, for example buyer personas or customer lifetime value. So an example of a very basic email segmentation campaign would be a sports retailer who sends separate campaigns to male and female contacts. They can take this to a more advanced level though. The same sports retailer sending different campaigns to male and female contacts, but who now also include different sizes and styles based on previous purchases and buyer persona. The world's your oyster when it comes to segmentation, and the more focused you make it, the more personal and relevant it becomes to your contacts. Segmented and targeted emails generate 58% of all revenue according to the Direct Marketing Association. And now we move on to dynamic content. So dynamic content supercharges personalisation, allowing you to deliver different content to individual subscribers all from one single email. This approach allows you to deliver relevant content in your emails which is unique to each contact. The content used is chosen through the use of preset rules which you set when creating the campaign. Personalised content, being the most relevant, grabs the reader's attention and will keep it for longer. You've moved a long way from the shotgun approach to email marketing. The increased relevance will drive engagement and conversions, which will ultimately raise your return on investment. Now, this is one benefit of dynamic content, but it can also serve another purpose. The average email list churns by about 25% every year, which means you lose 1 in 4 of your current subscribers in the next 12 months. And since 56% of people unsubscribe from emails due to content that's no longer relevant, personalised content is our most effective weapon in fighting subscriber attrition. Implementing a dynamic content strategy is easy and allows you to make the most of your resources and all the customer data that you're collecting. From simply inserting your subscriber's name into a subject line to switching out images and full copy according to preferences or interests, there are a few limits to how you can use your data to personalise the content of your emails. In fact, the only obstacle to personalising emails with dynamic content is whether you have the required data or not. The more personalised the content, the more effective the message. What's more, it generates huge results. Dynamic content can improve click-to-open rates by as much as 73% according to Avari. And finally, consider this. Personalised promotional emails also lift transaction rates and revenue 6 times higher than non-personalised emails according to Experian. So as we move to the end of the webinar, we'd like to move on to the conclusion. And to make the most of personalisation in your email marketing campaigns, create personas to enable you to see the customer's journey from their point of view. Create a customer journey map to visualise how each of your personas travels from being a prospect to becoming a customer. Target your customers based on the behaviours that they're exhibiting. Segment your data to enable you to deliver the most relevant and personal content in the right format at the right time and in the right way. And consider using dynamic content in your email marketing campaigns. When used in conjunction with personas, customer journey maps, behavioural targeting and segmentation, it enables you to provide your prospects and customers with the content that is laser targeted to their current situation. So that's the end of the webinar. I hope that you found the information useful and that it's given you some food for thought on how you can introduce personalisation into your email marketing campaigns. Our contact details are on screen. At Wide Marketing, we're very open to any questions that you might have. Please feel free to contact us if you want to see how Wide Marketing can help you achieve email marketing success, or if you want to chat about what you're doing with your campaigns at the moment. Finally, the Wired team and I would like to thank you for attending our webinar and wish you every success with your email marketing. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you at our future webinars. Goodbye.